Hello, hello. We've got a full house. How's everybody doing? Yay! Welcome. I'm Amanda Haas. I'm a Whole Foods market ambassador and a cookbook author, but this weekend I am here hosting the culinary stage at the Napa Valley Film Festival. So much fun here. We're so excited to have you, and I'm really excited to share this film and this food with you. So I would love to introduce you to, I will get your names corrected, Jesse Ziegelstein, who's the director, and Aaron Abrams, who's the actor in Nose to Tail. We're going to take a look and watch a clip of the film.
Here we go. Fire 2 soups.
Yes, chef.
Fire 4 veg. Fire 2 meat.
Yes, chef.
Thank you.
You said you'd come by last night and then radio silence.
I was working.
That's one way of putting it.
I was here till 3 o'clock last night.
So fucking what? I never left. We're done talking about this. Start prepping.
Yes, chef.
What the fuck is going on across the street? It's just another food truck, right?
Oh, no. These guys are more like the hottest thing in town. What?
Barf.
Dan, you got a visitor.
No, he's not here, is he? What are you talking about?
You really don't know, do you?
Know what? He stabbed me in the back. Textbook betrayal. You're talking like this is a chronic problem. This has never happened before.
I don't know what you want me to do for you.
I just want you to cut me a break. And all of a sudden you don't trust me? Like all of a sudden my word's no good?
No, you came. You invited me. I hadn't been here in a while. I thought I'd kick the tires.
Something. Please don't walk out on me.
Why not? Give me one good reason.
You're quite the contrarian. A real old school rebel, proudly out of step with the times.
No. We fire 2 mates.
Yes, chef.
You're not my competition. You're a punk kid in a truck.
I don't want you to fly off the handle.
You assume I'm gonna fly off the handle. Can we just get through this evening without any more mishaps, please? Are you fucking kidding me?
Wow. I'm so excited to see this. And then to bring the story to life today, I'm really excited to introduce Chef Daniel Capra, who's the executive chef of Paula LeDuc Catering, who has made every bite we've had at this festival so far. So come on out, Chef. Thank you. Yay. Bravo. I have to brag on you for a minute because we worked together here last year, but his team has executed every single tasting of this is the 9th tasting we've done in 3 days.
No kidding. No, yeah,
and
Saturday.
It's been perfect.
Good.
So thank you.
Good.
And we hear you're a little bit friendlier than the character in the movie, maybe just a little bit.
I don't. Raise your hand if you've seen the movie yet.
Have you seen anybody been to the film? It's great because it's already shown here.
Yeah, I saw it twice, and I told these guys I can't watch it again. I have to wait some time. But yeah, I don't portray. That's not the character
not you.
that you're going to see here.
Okay, fair enough.
He wouldn't tell you if he was, though, so you don't know.
We're not quite sure. We're not quite sure.
I was backstage, and I was actually remembering in the film. There's the scene where you're in the restroom, and you've got your pre-ritual where you're trying to psych yourself up in the mirror. Oh, yeah. And I was like, gosh, I don't have a ritual. What do I do?
Should we create one?
No, I don't need a ritual.
We'll make one for you.
No.
Just try and experiment right now. Do you have like a motto you want to share? Just like start chanting?
No, I don't. No motto. Just try to play it cool and pretend
Maybe
like
something will come to us as we do
I'll
this
think of
demo,
something
right?
clever.
As you cook this dish. So I love the inspiration for this you kind of drew from the movie and the theme of the movie. What are we making today?
So just to back up, when I was asked to do the demo, and the movie was Nose to Tail, and I thought about, butchery and whole animal cooking, and I got really excited, and I thought, yes, I'm gonna break down a pig and do all these piggy.
That's what I thought we were doing. I was like, fine, let's break down a pig.
And then I saw the movie, and I realized it was sort of a different metaphor, and there was a different. I gave myself the flexibility and freedom to interpret differently what I was going to prepare. So it's still pig parts, but I'm focusing on the
tasty pig parts.
Right? Delicious pig parts. We're doing pork. We're doing the ham hock, and the concept of nose to tail cooking is making sure nothing goes to waste,
Right.
obviously, and so using all the glamorous parts, but then also the not so glamorous parts. And originally I was going to do a pig ear terrine, and I backed off of that, and so I decided to do the hock, which is essentially just north of the ankle and below what would be the knee, just right in that middle point. And growing up in Virginia, any bean I ever had a smoked ham hock.
Ham hock.
And it's such a delicious, rich, fatty meat. And if you think about any tough muscle, I mean, there's a lot of weight on these animals, anywhere from 50 to 250 pounds.
Wow.
It's a big muscle, and so you have to give it a long braid.
I was going to ask a tougher cut, right? Slow
Totally
cook
tougher
it
cut,
to bring
yeah.
out the flavor and the texture of it.
So I kind of wanted to bring it into the spotlight. Usually it kind of is like a supporting character, like a backup singer, like in the Beans or something, and I thought it could like hold its own. And with some of the side dish elements, kind of going into, believe it or not, it's almost Thanksgiving.
I know,
which
this
is
weather's crazy.
my favorite holiday.
Mine too.
Yeah.
If you're a cook, I think it has to be.
Totally.
It's my
And the
favorite
concept
day
of
the
just
year.
being thankful. But one of the sides, which is a butternut puree. Oh, you guys are eating already. Good.
Yeah, they get their food early because your team's amazing.
So that's something that I kind of make every Thanksgiving too. So I just thought I would tie it in. So in the movie,
Amazing.
there's a big scene where Chef Daniel, which is also my name, he's really trying to impress some investors, and there's like a multi-course dinner, and he's doing all these beautiful small plates. And so I thought, instead of coming out and either being a jerk or butchering a pig, I would just do a small dish. So
Sounds terrific.
on.
So where are we going to start? We're going to start with the ham hock?
yes. Ooh, this
Okay.
is amazing.
Yeah, first of all, this cookware is absolutely gorgeous from Blanc Creatives in the back, handmade. And then this induction cooktop, we're saying as chefs so often we cook on gas. This induction is so sensitive.
It's
so heat
instant.
sensitive. It's
Yeah, and
amazing.
this is
It's hot.
it hasn't
It's
been
ready.
sitting long. So I have my hocks here.
Okay.
That have been seasoned overnight with ground coriander,
Oh, gorgeous.
fennel,
Smell.
little
Oh, I
salt
love
and
it. I
pepper.
use fennel in everything.
and it's
smells
a
amazing.
flavor that goes amazing with
You approve, chef?
with pork.
So a little olive oil to start?
Yeah, so we're just
Okay.
going to start off. I'm going to make sure these are a little dry before we go
Yeah.
in the pan.
That's a great way to do it. You get a nicer crust on things, right? Smells amazing. Okay, so we're going to put these in. Is this kind of a traditional braise where we'll brown it and then
We're
you
gonna
would
brown
add
the
some
meat.
liquid and
And then I'm going to pull the meat out and then
Okay.
add some aromatics into the pan. Deglaze with a little Golden State cider.
oh, what a great
Sonoma County.
call.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. I should ask right now too. Dory Sanchez is here representing the Treasury Estate wines that we're pouring today. Dory, what are we pairing with this?
So what I have here for you is our 2016 The Investor red wine from our Stag's Leap Winery.
I love
Consists of 4 different varietals. So it's going to bring forth a rich and powerful fruit presence, and it's going to have an elegant finish to it.
Oh, well, I can't wait. How is the combination of the food with the wine? I've only tried the wine so far. We're going to see what we think, right?
And obviously, if there are any vegetarians, we can prepare some without the pork. And
I love that. That's a great idea. So while we're browning this, I wanted to ask you too as well, Jesse, how did you come to make this movie?
I've always been interested in food and wine, and I've had family and friends who worked in the restaurant business and owned restaurants, and I always thought that the modern day restaurant would make a great setting for a drama. And I happen to have not a lot of money to make my this movie with, so I condensed the story down to the most essential portions that I could, and so it all takes place in one restaurant over the course of one day and night, and it kind of distills all the pitfalls and the obstacles that a ornery chef operator faces in today's restaurant culture.
Right, and I'm curious because Aaron, playing the part of this, how did you prepare to be this person?
Well, I shot it. There was a chef called Nathan Campbell who helped. He was on set all the time.
Yeah.
It came about very quickly, so I really only had one night to sort of shadow him.
Wow.
And watch sort of how he dealt with people. He was not like this, obviously. He was a little bit more reined in. But just physically, I mean, there's a scene in the trailer where he goes into a freezer and closes the door so he can lose his mind in private and scream and then go back out and be professional again. That was something that came directly from that guy's life. That's a thing that he did. Is that something you do as well?
I don't do it anymore, but there was a time.
Really?
It's funny, where we work. My kitchen is very, very chill. And,
Right.
But there were many nights and days years ago where there was screaming and yeah.
Well, you
imbalance.
set the tone for that, right? And I think that more of the character that you portray, there are many, many restaurants that everyone takes the lead from the chef, and it's very real. That's not a strange thing to witness in the restaurant business, I think, right?
That's certainly. I mean, they're just
Typical.
They're in the pressure cooker or in the meat grinder, and they don't have time to be nice to people,
No.
or they don't have the patience anymore because they're sort of at their wits' end.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But if only they would realize that it's a team effort, and you can lean on your peers, and if you treat people with respect, you're going to get that respect, and there's less screaming.
There's
The ideal
fewer
kitchen,
tears.
unfortunately, is not a site of a lot of good drama. So I had to heighten the drama, and that meant heighten the bad behavior and all the work-life imbalances that you probably removed to arrive at the state of zen you're in.
Right.
Those have to go into the movie.
They absolutely have to go into the movie. So what are you doing here? Is you browned the ham hock, took it out?
Yes, and
Onion?
so I started with a little olive oil in there, and
Okay.
then a lot of the fat from the outside.
Of
So I
course.
released some fat into the pan, and then removed the hocks, added some onion, garlic, ginger.
Huge pieces of ginger. I
Huge
love
pieces,
it.
just for flavor.
Okay.
And now that the garlic is just starting to brown,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to
a
add
can. I love this
cider.
idea. Cider. That's so good. We're so spoiled.
And I'll reduce this so easily.
Okay. You gonna give me a job as you're doing these other things? Are we happy? All those gorgeous
Make sure
bits
this
on
is
the
sugar,
bottom.
not salt. Yeah,
Thanks for checking.
I've done that. I'm putting a little sugar in, and then I'm adding a little bit more of the amazing coriander and fennel that they were marinating in overnight.
That's
And
a combination I would just keep on hand in my kitchen and
It's a
put it on
staple.
everything, right?
staple. So with the, in addition to the cider, hard cider, there's cider vinegar, which, again, certain things I think just go so well with pork. Cider, apples, fennel.
I agree.
So we're going to bring this up to a boil. We're going to
Okay.
reduce it a little bit, add a little stock, put the meat back in,
Okay.
and then we're going to put it in our oven.
Great. Do you want me to take care of this as you're doing other things? I can see if I'm doing my job correctly, right? I get
Other
so
thing.
excited when we cook here.
Now,
Especially
when
with
I was testing this out at home, I did it in a pressure cooker, which
You
is
did.
which is kind of my new favorite kind of kitchen toy.
Right.
Especially for beans, if you haven't soaked your beans. And
That's so fast. It's unreal.
all right, so side
So
dish.
what's next?
First side dish.
Okay.
We've got that butternut puree. And again, this is something I do every Thanksgiving. I try to figure out, kind of nose to tail, like 5 different ways I can serve butternut squash.
Wow.
Because growing up, I never saw butternut squash. And so it's a simple puree. What I do is I cut the butternut up and I steam it ahead of time. And oftentimes I'll just use this in a salad one night. And if there's any left over, I can turn it into a puree.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And it holds so well after you've cooked it in the fridge. It's not like it breaks down and turns into a strange texture.
No,
But you can
no,
do that a
not
couple
this.
days ahead and use
Kabocha
it in many ways.
would. Kabocha's a
Got it.
finicky squash.
Right.
So I'm just going to take the squash that I've already steamed.
Okay.
This is actually, I can't even believe I'm doing this. It's too easy. But,
Well, you have your team in the
but
back
easy's-
making
easy's
magic
not
for
a
us,
bad word
right?
when it comes to cooking. So
Pretty amazing.
just steamed squash.
Okay.
A little coconut milk.
Yes, please. Love the coconut milk.
So this is vegan.
Right.
No butter, although I love my
Is
butter.
this how you do it for Thanksgiving as well with the coconut milk?
This is one of the versions.
Okay.
My brother-in-law, I turned him on to butternut squash, and so like all year long, he's like, "What are you gonna do for Thanksgiving with the butternut?" So,
Competition.
Yeah, and so this is just a little garam masala.
Beautiful.
Curry
I mean,
spice.
wow. So gorgeous. This is very anti-inflammatory. You're cooking in my world right
Right?
now, Chef. This
Good.
is crazy. I love it. I love it. How am I doing here? Can I add the ham hocks back, or you want to reduce
Let's
it a
do
little
that.
bit
Yeah,
more?
we can do that. And
Okay,
add a little
sure.
chicken
And some
stock.
stock.
Yeah, so I'm
You
just
got
gonna
it.
warm this up and then puree it. So.
Okay. Now, would you put a lid on this in real life, or would you just put it straight in the oven and let it do its thing and cook
In real
down
life,
some?
yeah, I would
Okay.
certainly cover it. And so the size of these, they probably would take, that's probably a good 2.5, 3 hours or longer.
350? How hot you get? Yeah.
Well, actually, probably like more 325-ish.
Okay. Low and slow.
Low and slow.
All right, delightful. We'll put them in anyhow and pretend we're actually cooking. We are cooking.
But
I love this
meanwhile,
oven with the
we've
double
already
doors.
prepared.
The sequel to the movie can be called Low and Slow.
Low and slow. There we have it, right?
You were saying earlier that ham hocks aren't like a glamorous part of the pig or something that's not necessarily the star of the
It's
show.
not
a
the
lot.
sexy cut. Usually,
Right.
It's not sexy.
Why is that? Because it's harder to cook, or because it's a tougher? Like as you said, it's sort of a tougher.
I just don't
because
think
of
it's a showcase meat. I mean, if you go to like your local butcher shop, they're going to have all the parts out and they're going to tell you how to cook it.
Right.
And I think in a lot of like your bigger stores, it really is. People know their pork chops and they know even pork shoulder and they know how to braise a shoulder. But you know, as you get closer to the foot, and the foot's a great meat as well, and especially in a sauce, it's a good fatty, good gelatinous meat. But this, it's just not as advertised. It doesn't get the
Right.
spotlight.
So it's
Little
just
underrated.
a PR problem for the
It's
ham.
It's a marketing
I mean, so
issue.
much of what we eat is PR, or what we don't eat, or
Well, and maybe people think you have to have a little more technique and skill to braise it and slow cook it, right? You have to have a little more patience unless you rock the pressure cooker that is changing people's lives.
pressure cooker's
right?
great, and then, like the whole, everyone has a slow cooker now, right?
Right,
And,
right.
And people dabble with the short ribs or the longer cooking meats,
Yeah.
and this is just a great,
I laugh too because I don't have any of those things, but I just use my cooktop and my oven for everything. Like you do the work of browning it and putting it in, and then you just let it go, and it's delicious.
all right, so.
Now
Yeah,
we've
this
got
is
the
just a little
coconut
too
milk.
easy. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
this
just
is
bringing it up to heat.
Okay. And then
amazing
puree
cookout.
it, or what will you do
I'm gonna
with
buzz
this?
it. Yeah,
Oh,
I like
we're
to
gonna
keep it a
buzz
little
it in the
chunky.
brine.
Yeah, you'll help me
Okay.
fix that.
I will. I think I've cracked the code on it. It locks us out. It's a smart thing with kids running around too. We've got this.
So I can slowly bring this up, and then meanwhile we can make our relish.
Oh, great. Why don't I bring it over here for us? These ingredients?
Yes.
Terrific. Love it. So you all got to try all of this already. What's this relish combination you're doing for us?
It's just so it's cabbage, it's ginger unpeeled, an apple, olive oil, and rice wine vinegar. And,
gorgeous.
Yeah, and so like at the shop, we prepare it and then we vacuum seal it in a bag and let it sit for a couple of days.
Right.
Just so everything kind of macerates and
Pickles almost.
pickles. It totally
Right.
pickles. But this is something. So obviously we're doing it on the pork today, but I've done this on like a grilled cheese sandwich as well. It's just it's like a versatile condiment. It's got texture and spice.
I'm going to watch how you do this on a mandolin. I always think I'm impressed that you're busting out the mandolin in front of a crowd, right?
You're going to jinx me now. Watch me.
No, I'm not.
So-
Just by saying it, we're all good.
So yeah, you can see this is my personal.
I love his names on it.
Yeah.
This is is this a Ben Reiner Japanese mandolin?
Yes.
This is like every chef's favorite tool.
So I'm
Aaron,
just
they didn't
going
make
as
you
fine
learn
as
how to
I
use
can.
this for the movie.
I don't think they would have trusted me. I would
Yeah,
have lost
right.
a finger.
I
It
mean-
would have been uninsurable.
But the thing is, you would have been undurable, but you can adjust the thickness and then you can get such a finely
I mean,
shaved.
this is barely even.
That is
exposed.
barely,
It's-
yep. But I think it transforms the flavor of things. Like you could take raw cabbage and it tastes totally different when you're slicing it that thinly. And I wouldn't even cook it,
No.
Just a little acid with it and it's delicious.
It'll just break it down just enough. So I'll do
Wow.
probably a little bit of equal parts of
Okay.
everything, and I'll use a lot of ginger. And you were talking earlier about kind of healthful eating and just
Right.
the benefits of as in with the curry spices there,
Yes.
and then our ginger here as well. I mean, I think it's a good healthy balance anyway because we're eating
Right.
a big giant fatty piece of pork.
Yes. And you know what's interesting, I think, as our cooking has evolved, and you've been in this business for a long time as well, that, chefs are turning to other ingredients besides the classics. Like butter and cream are amazing too, right? And I love when I use them, but the coconut milk in this is one of my favorite things. Like, I'll do desserts a lot with coconut milk instead of the cream, and people have
It's a
no
good
idea.
fat. It's a
Oh, the texture, amazing. So this is beautiful to do it that finely shredded.
Right?
I hope it was delicious, as
And no
delicious
peel.
as it looks. Oh, okay,
with the
you just
peel.
go for it.
Yeah.
And you get these, oh wow, I love it. So you just grab, do you have any preference on the type of apple that you're using?
It depends on. I like to taste when I go to the market, obviously,
Right.
but I'm a Braeburn guy, or let me taste that.
From a textural perspective, you're getting it so thin it doesn't really, so good.
Yeah, I just opened it up a little bit.
They have to have
It's a
some
little
too.
thicker.
Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna steal a
that was
couple.
me.
Yeah, no, spread them around. I might have one more apple in the back.
Not that
if I
they
run
want
out
to
here,
eat
don't
what I'm
worry.
handing them, but it's so delicious. I mean, so yummy.
All right, almost there.
Okay.
So with the apple though, that's just slices. I still have to go back and
And you're just going to run your knife through them.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how when someone has practiced this much, he makes everything look so easy? Great knife skills.
But what I like is it kind of looks like radish when you
It does.
do it like
It
that.
absolutely does, which would work really well on this mandolin as well. So, Aaron, I'm curious, they didn't put you through your paces with how to cook? Or did you have to up
They
your
tried.
game? And?
Well, I had that one night with him before. I sort of got to town and then had one night with him where he put me through the paces a little bit, and then I thought I was doing great. He was being so encouraging.
You're like, this is good.
And then he just turned to Jesse and was like, here are all the things you can't show him doing on camera. And just knocked him out. But one of the things that he did say that you could, that I was getting the hang of was carving. And so I do carve a pig in the movie.
Wow.
But doing stuff like this, he said I had hands like I was wearing mittens. I'm not even sure what that means, but it's not good. So there was no like dicing or like anything.
Luckily, he was the executive chef, and the actors that we hired to be the prep cooks were good.
Yeah,
they
right.
had good knife skills. So we sat down for like an elementary introductory knife skills class that they all did.
They all had to complete.
He just had to learn how to bark at them. You know?
Yeah.
And he was really good at that. So.
Right. That's a totally different skill set, right?
Right,
Which apparently
yes.
you did very well.
Apparently, sometimes they go together quite well. I
Right.
just only have half of it.
You only had part of it. Did I just see you do ginger like this?
Ginger, sorry.
Oh my gosh,
It all
in
happened
your
so
face.
fast.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like so bright compared to what we're doing with the meat. Wow, I've never thought to put it in a slaw like this.
Oh, yeah. Well, now you have it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And then I think this.
Now what? Is that cider vinegar?
Sure is. My
Okay, a
favorite.
little more acid. You use it more than others?
I think I do. I mean,
think
I don't
I
like
lean
to.
on citrus.
I don't like to have favorites or show favorites.
A little more sugar. That'll balance it out, right? The sugar? Okay, perfect.
Looking for the salt.
No, yeah, you're like...
Sugar and salt.
Sugar
yes.
and salt. Okay.
So pretty basic stuff here.
Yeah. But
You know, I also liked the the actor that played the chef de cuisine.
The actor for this.
Randy?
Oh, Brandon, yes.
Yeah.
Brandon.
I think that was his first movie, right? I think that was his
first substantial.
Oh, yeah. He was fantastic.
That was a great
He did a great
character
job.
too. Up
Yeah, he
against-
was really lovely to scream and yell at.
You had a good time, huh? Amazing. So I'm curious, in your world, when you're always catering, you have to cook differently, I think, right? Because you're looking at what you can do ahead and what...
It's a different skill. I mean, it's fun. I mean, it's a different style of cooking. And, like when I was first introduced to the art of catering for large numbers,
Yeah.
I thought it was, well,
You had thoughts.
different than what I was exposed to.
Right.
I mean, as I learned, it's just when they want to entertain people and they won't all fit into one restaurant and they need a bigger, a barn or
Right.
or a beachside or out in the forest, which we've done. It's just taking that kitchen, on the road and learning how to adjust. Learning. Okay, if I were in a home kitchen, how would I do that? If I was in an industrial, full-size kitchen
Right.
space with a roof, how would I do that? Now that I'm going to be outdoors with propane or not,
Right.
how do I interpret that? So it's just another challenge. It's like a puzzle.
Exactly, and it's different every time.
It really is. It's kind of military-esque. So.
But I think that this would be an interesting one, because whether you're cooking at home or you're in your world, you could probably shred everything a couple hours before at least, and then just add the acid and the sugar to break it down right before the event.
Yeah, I mean, what the taster is what we had. We compressed this 2 days ago just to let it
Wow.
really come together.
Okay.
But again, it's, define what's right, what tastes good at the time. I mean, this is great right now.
Yeah.
It's also great if it sits and even breaks down a little
Yeah,
bit. And,
exactly. How's this?
I
Off
think
and
we're ready
puree?
to puree that up.
I'm sleeping on the job over here.
I'm just curious. I want
Too
to
much
taste
of the
this
yummy
while I'm up
wine.
here. Can't remember what I had for lunch.
Amazing.
I mean, just like that.
I love it when
now.
people, like, your food's delicious, and so he doesn't want to, I can tell you're like, I'm not going to brag, but it's probably delightful.
Try that.
Yeah, I was like,
That's
okay.
a mouthful, but
The ginger, game changer. With it that thin, because you get a big chunk and it would be horrible. I
Bravo.
love that.
good for me.
I could eat
did
a
that.
bowl of that. Way to go, chef. You're hired.
All right, so let's see if we can figure this
Oh,
out.
look, people are going to clap. Yes. Way to go, chef.
if anyone wants to come up here and taste just the relish.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's so amazing. And people can come up afterwards as well. Do you want me to put this whole thing in there for you?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Quite honestly, that would be fine to eat just like that. Nice, chunky, already
so
cooked.
good. One thing I always warn people, hot liquids in a blender or food processor, danger, right? So you'll watch Chef, he'll make sure that there's a way for the air to escape, so you're not blowing it up and your food ends up all over your ceiling or burning
every now and
you.
then we get that on our ceiling at the shop. But,
Okay, so I got this for you, I promise. If you just put it on, I'm going to show you.
All right, talk me through it here.
Yeah, exactly. This is actually a really clever tool that Braun makes that it can be a stick blender or a food processor.
All right, so I'm going to keep this out, and I'm just going to use my towel.
See? He's doing what I was warning. So we unlock it, Chef, and then you can pulse.
How did you do that?
There's a little lock button there. Isn't that brilliant?
No, it's...
Wait, hold on. Oh, okay, now go.
Oh, my goodness.
Cool, huh? What are you looking for in a texture?
Right now? You know, it could change. I like it nice. I mean, for this, I'd probably go kind of smooth. Let me unlock it.
Ta-da!
But see how...
Lump-free, huh?
Lump-free.
Oh,
And you know
wow.
what? I might
Can
put a little
taste
bit more
that, too?
coconut in there, too.
I want to make sure he knows what he's doing. Looks amazing.
Good. Did I put too much coconut? 'Cause I can't take it out.
I love it.
Salt?
You're going to want more. Like, I think it's good, but you're
That's
going to
this
want a
one.
pinch. Yeah. Yeah. Delightful. So good. So I love this, too. You honestly could take this all the way and do it and refrigerate it and heat it up, couldn't you?
Easy.
Easy.
Yeah. I mean, or like we did here, where it was at least pre-cooked.
Right.
But yeah, you know, because like for me, like when I'm cooking a Thanksgiving dinner, it's usually about 10 people.
Yeah.
Not so bad. But anything I can do ahead of time.
You do it. I'm crazy.
I love my in-laws, but I don't want them in the, you know, they don't need to be in the kitchen.
No,
You know,
absolutely.
they have other things to do.
That's why you're making me rethink my Thanksgiving menu. But I don't know why I did this, but I invited 60 people to my house on Sunday night for a little Friendsgiving before I do the real Thanksgiving. I haven't even gotten there in my head yet because we're here, we're doing this. But I'm like, oh, this is a good idea. Maybe I'm going to interpret this for next Sunday night. Got 8 days to figure it out.
I think that's it.
How is it? You like it?
Yeah, I still probably want to pinch more salt, but
I thought it was more salt, right? Taste a little more. You realize it's so personal too, but I do think, being a professional chef, you understand the power of seasoning, that a little bit of salt can bring out all of the flavors.
Absolutely.
You have something super bland, and then boom, it's like magic. So good. So good. This is why our food has tasted so good all weekend.
Here,
They have you leading the charge.
you guys, you can,
Oh, good. All right, we'll pass it around.
just in case we're wrong, you know, you can taste it and see if we need to add something.
We'll give you a harsh critique.
Yeah, let's get the real critique from you, huh? Amazing. What did you think of the combination? Oh my God. So good. Everybody's happy?
Thanks.
Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable combination of flavors. So to plate it, you would just do the butternut squash on the bottom and the slaw and a big piece of it, or how would you serve this?
You know, so it's funny. So nowadays, I kind of consider myself a vegetarian that eats meat.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I try to think about the plate where, you know, it's not just a big old giant hunk of protein
Right.
with you know, side components trying to jump in.
Sure.
It's like I would probably put the puree down and then maybe put just a small example of meat and then
Right.
relish. And then I think the tasters, too, in addition to the puree, there was also some steamed little cutouts of butternut squash as well.
Oh,
So it's like
beautiful. So you
butternut
get that
two
play
ways.
on the texture as
Yeah.
well.
And so, and like when we're doing it in volume anyway, there's a couple dishes we do where it's these little, just the cutouts of the butternut, but then you get a lot of, you know, scrap, and we reserve that to put into like a puree for another dish. So,
Oh my gosh.
you know, zero waste, you know.
Zero
how
waste,
we have to
which
think.
is incredible. Yeah, this is a delicious dish. Delicious dish.
But then you thin this out even more, and you've got yourself a soup, you know.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I would definitely serve that as a soup as well. Amazing. Does anybody have questions for Chef or the film crew? Yes?
My first question was, in your first fennel coriander mix, there's clearly some sort of pepper in it.
It's just black pepper.
Black pepper
But it's
in
also
the braise.
toasted. So any of the spice blends, whenever you're doing blends, yeah, just toast it. Even people do that with their coriander, with their fennel, with any other seed, but some people forget to do that with their black pepper as well, and it just really wakes it up.
Brings out the flavor.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's terrific. I love that you could spot it. Yes? She asked how long he braises the pork.
So what y'all tasted today, I think we actually did for about 3.5 hours. They were much larger pieces. Yeah, I mean, my test for it is when I can stick a spoon into it, it's done. It was 325.
325.
But it was fully covered. Yeah, a big version of that, yes, yeah.
Right, with the lid on, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, nice foil, parchment paper, lid.
You're good to go. Tight seal. Yes, I see a hand over there. Hello.
Hello there.
Oh,
Thank
great.
you.
She liked the veggie option. She's asking
Thank
about the
you.
gravy. Did you reduce the liquid from the pan?
That was going to be a talking point. I forgot all about that.
Well, it is now.
Thank you for asking that. We took the braising liquid and we chilled it overnight because there was a substantial amount of fat that came out from the pork. And if I simmer that into the sauce, it just becomes texturally unapproachable.
Too much.
Yeah.
Right.
So we took the fat off, put the reserved liquid in a pot. I shaved more ginger. I took a jalapeno and essentially charred it on the grill top, put that in there as well. Some more toasted garlic, and then some Indonesian sweet soy sauce, and brought that down.
Wow.
Secret ingredient.
I was going to say, I've never heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the secret ingredient
Yeah.
for sure. Aren't you glad you asked? Yes.
You mentioned that you would possibly thin the butternut and wash to make a soup. What would you use to thin that?
Vegetable stock, more coconut milk.
Yeah.
Or sometimes we'll make like you can make a stock if you save your Parmesan rinds. As you
it's
grate
the
your,
best.
You put them in the freezer until you have a bunch. Line a pot, line the bottom with parchment or something because they'll bake on and stick to the bottom. It's just the Parmesan and water. Simmer that. All you really need to do is simmer it for like 2 hours, and that's a great stock that would be good with this too. Kind of salty, umami with the sweetness.
It's a great tip, great trick. Any other questions for us? No? All right. Well, Jesse and Aaron, I'm so happy to have you with us today, too. What a treat. Congratulations. Their film has been shown twice here.
Thank you, guys.
Right?
Thank you.
You're all done.
Thank you, Chef.
But what an accomplishment. Really, really nice to have you here being a part of this festival. And, Chef, thank you for not just for today, but for your entire team and all you've done.
It's the team effort.
Yeah, and Dory, for you being here, pouring wines as well. I think they'll be demoing also on this cooktop right afterwards, showing Monogram Induction again. Oh, I get to make a special announcement. Keep your wine glasses for the wine intermission, which I believe starts right now. So after this, you can come taste wines as well and get to know all of the Treasury Wine Estates wines. So thank you for being with us today. I hope you'll come back tomorrow. Enjoy the festival.